in order to look in the future, just let our minds kind of play a little bit. Because in order to be game changers, we have to have the ability to open ourselves up for the possibility and take action on it. See, the first time I wanted to be a game changer, I was a freshman in high school. South Louisiana. I went to a small Catholic high school. We had 400 students in the whole school, had 120 in my graduating class, but 30, 40 guys, small little school. But I decided that as a freshman that I wanted to go out for the high school varsity basketball team. I had a passion. I really wanted to do this. Now, you have to understand why. I come from a family that sports is not something we did. It was part of our heritage. It was part of our culture. My father, Joe, was an all-state outstanding basketball player in high school. He was a state champion hurdler. Set records in the high hurdles in Louisiana that stayed in existence until the late 50s, early 60s. Amazing guy. You got a chance to watch him smash pitch softball until he was 45 years old. I watched him in a Knights of Columbus basketball tournament with 5 guys on the team. All but one were over 48 years old, and they won the tournament. Dad was an amazing athlete. My brother Wendell was a state champion javelin thrower. He went to McNeese State University on a football scholarship, was quarterback of the football team. Sports was part of my heritage. I wanted to make the basketball team as a freshman. Good news was, I did. Only the second person in 25 years to make it to freshman year in high school. Now, to put this in perspective, between my 8th grade and my 9th grade year, I grew 9 inches. Oh, yeah. I see some of the mothers in the room. You know what this means, right? My dad said that was the year that we didn't watch television. You know, they just put me on the couch and they watched the pants kind of crawl up my leg. I was kind of like an Adam's apple with rib cages wrapped around it. And my daughter Nikki saw a picture of me my freshman year, and she said, Daddy, if you would turn sideways and stick your tongue out, you'd look like a zipper. I mean, I was rail thin, but I made the team. But you know what happened? By the time the season was over with, I was the only one on the team to not have scored a point the entire season. The only one. So Coach Landry, being the kind and sensitive football coach who decided to just coach basketball during the offseason, calls timeout with 27 seconds left to go in the game. I'm sitting at the end of the bench. Kind of what I usually did, just kind of killing time and just waiting for the season to end. And all of a sudden, I heard this voice. Lejeune, get over here. That walk was the longest walk, it was like was it Long Green Mile? I mean, it's like, I didn't want to do this. He got me, grabbed my jersey. You know, like coaches like to just kind of pull them, get in your face. He grabs my jersey, and because my jersey was a little large, he's rolling it up to pull me close. And he gets me in his face, and he goes, Lejeune, you're going to go in the game. You're going to stand at half court. Big Ronald Malvo, when they shoot that free throw and miss it, he's going to jump up with you, get a rebound, throw it to you at half court, you're going to catch it, you're going to dribble down the court. You're going to shoot a layup, which is the easiest shot in basketball. You're going to make the goal. Do you understand? You know how there's certain times in life that there's just precious moments that your destiny just unfolds. You're in the right place, the right time. The stars all just line up. This wasn't one of them. I went and stood at half court, and I'm looking around this gymnasium. Jim's like 40 years old. Small gym. It had 2 rows of bleachers on this side. It had 3 on this end. The student section was built up behind us into the rafters. It held like maybe 300 people. And on this side was just a wall with these doors that had a mattress chained to the door, so that if you shot the layup and just kept going, you wouldn't hurt yourself. Except if you hit the chain that was holding the mattress on the door. And this was pre-central air. So we didn't have air conditioning. We had these windows. You've seen them. You know, have you ever been in these old gymnasiums? You know, they got the row. I see some of the guys, they got the rows around the top, you know, popped open or whatever, and you're just praying that not too many pigeons come in the windows. I mean, they're coming around the door, and they got a big ceiling fan. And the gym, man, it smelled like a gymnasium, boy. You could just smell it. And it's so intimate. And I'm standing at half court, and I'm waiting for the play to go off, and it does. It does just like the coach pictured it. Big Ronald jumps up in the air. The guy misses the shot. He catches the rebound. He throws it down the court. I am running down the court. I'm dribbling like you see. I saw Pete Maravich, you know, who was just racing down the court. I'm pounding I'm just like, it's kind of like Kobe. He's going to go in and tackle. It's more like a giraffe in heat. Okay, so I'm running down the court. I hit that free throw line just like I saw Pete float through the air. The ball leaves my hand, and it goes over the goal. It goes over the backboard and out the window. Now, some of you in here are probably wondering, why is he telling me this story? You see, it's not what we experience. It's not what we do. It's kind of how we respond to things. That summer, I had a choice to make. I got a phone call from someone. You see, what happens when we hit adversity, when we hit challenges, I believe that people are put into our lives to guide us, sort of like we were given these Yodas. All right? My Yoda was an older man, Glenn Morrow. He was a senior in high school. Glenn calls me on the phone and he says, Mike, what are you going to do? Are you going to give up? Or are you going to keep trying? And he gave me some of the most simple but amazing advice. He said, show up at the gym tomorrow and let's practice. And we practiced, and we practiced, and we practiced. Layup after layup after layup after layup. And I got so good at shooting layups that I made the varsity team as a sophomore. But not only did I make the varsity team as a sophomore, I was a starter. And before I finished my high school career, I scored 27 points in South Cameron, Louisiana. And I can still see the look of my mother and father at the end of the bleachers down there, the pride they had on their face. Now, my dad probably felt a little foolish because he asked the custodian before the game to shut the windows, but that's... What happens is we get hit with times that we're not as good at something as we'd like to be. But true game changers know that what they need to do is they need to live in that gap. They need to live in that space where they are uncomfortable so that they're given an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn. That's what game changers do.